I think we're all here.
Are there no pelicans?
Right here.
No. Bring forth the candidate.
Bring forth the candidate!
Your Majesties now approaches the candidate.
She bears a boar.
She is a boar or.
She has 3 queen ciphers.
She has 3 king sigils. She is a beacon of the desert.
She is a flower of the desert.
She is a light of Edenville.
There's a light over the end of the.
But not just any light.
No, she's a commander of the light too.
She takes care of adorable creatures that need a good home.
Like River, Rose, and Ruby.
And ladies Asa, Runa, and Marie Noel.
And a golden quill.
A baroness of the court.
And she takes really good pictures too.
Your Majesties, we present to you Baroness Sigríðr Úlfsdóttir de Lacy.
Is there a member of the chivalry that will speak for her?
Indeed, Your Majesty. Hello again. May I address the court in the past? I am Sir Cosmo Orsini, as you all know now, times 2, and it is my pleasure today to speak on behalf of Baroness Sigríðr de Lacy, née Úlfsdóttir of Ashers, for the Order of the Chivalry. We knights and masters at arms have long held ourselves to standards of the 7 knightly virtues, and it is of these virtues I wish to speak to you about Sigríðr today. I've had the pleasure of watching her very closely these last several years. And while she does indeed demonstrate each of the virtues, one of them that she does stands out above all others. And that's courage. Bear with me. Courage takes on many forms. For some of us, it's standing toe-to-toe against a superior opponent, like the cave troll. She has done this, of course, but that's really not where her courage truly comes to light. It can mean something as simple as writing down words that move you, that you're afraid to share with those around you. But standing up in front of people you know, or people you don't know, and speaking those words from the heart. As she has done this, it has resulted not only in one, but several Bardic accolades. That takes true courage to stand up in front of an audience for that first time, and she did this. It also means stepping into a role where your life is already incredibly busy, and you know this role, when you get it, oh my God, this is chaos incarnate. You know that you're going to have to spend countless hours preparing, planning, reading, making phone calls, making more phone calls, emergency trips to Phoenix and back, like she did in the role of the Signet. It also means going way out of your way to find little nooks, because she can, to take pictures of events just like this. Doesn't sound like much, but when you look online and you see, oh my God, she got me when I got that thing, you now have a perfect image, that memory of that special moment. And she goes out of her way to do this event after event after event. One of the true definitions of courage, by the way, is being willing to do the things that nobody else wants to do. How many of you here, by show of hands, let's take 4,000 pictures and edit every single one to post? That's what I thought. Dare I say, birds of a feather? Sigríðr does service in a great many ways, as we've already heard, and we'll be hearing later today. But I would like to share one other observation. It isn't just the what she does, it's the why she does it. For some of us, service is something that we feel is expected. You're raised to do it. But for Sigríðr, it becomes very evident she does this because she loves to do it. And she loves to make people happy and to see them accomplish their dreams. So do you and I, we wholeheartedly support this decision today.
Is there a member of the Noble Order of the Laurel that will speak for this woman? I only asked for it.
I will start, and with some humor in this case, speak about the candidate's hatred for the arts. This woman has done more arts than many people, and at some point in almost every one of them comes to one of us and says, I hate everything about this, and then continues on anyway to make something beautiful. Cosimo spoke about courage, and it's true. At a certain point, most arts go through, or most projects go through, an ugly phase, where you hate everything about it. And it takes courage to carry on and finish it anyway. And when you do, most of the time, it turns out amazing. You are an artist, whether you claim that title or not. You do good work, and you encourage others to do good work.
Many years ago, on a dusty wharf practice field, the idea of the Aiken-built Southern Scriptorium was brought about by her now Duchess Cecilia, her now Duchess Elzbieta. And I, as a lowly lady fighter, was like, oh wait, I want to learn calligraphy. 21 years ago now, almost. We're kind of a force to be reckoned with. We have a lot of peers within the Aiken-built Southern Scriptorium because we are a teaching group. We are lowercase peer review everything. Meaning, it doesn't matter who you are. You can critique. You don't like the color? No, that's not bright enough. Need more highlights. Go for it. It is a learning group because we all make mistakes. We all get stuck in the awkward teenage phase of projects. Now, admittedly, some of us love to poke at that ugly teenage stage and make people do Italian scrolls. They really don't like. But even though you grumbled, even though you gnashed your teeth, we had the courage to yell at the peers for, I don't wanna. And we're like, but we have to get the job. It is not because we do art that we are loyalists. It is not that we do service that we are peers. It is we make this dream possible. And without the hard work, the artistry behind the job, because the Signet office is more than making pretty scrolls. It is constant communication with the crown, the heirs, the baronies, your scribes. It is more than putting paint on paper. And you, my dear, have done that tenfold from what I have.
So yes, we fully endorse this. Is there a member of the Order of Defense that will speak for this woman? Yes, Your Majesty. Newly minted too. He still smells new.
He's got that new mud.
Hey, I do.
Your Majesties, if I may address the populace and yourself.
Please.
I'm a bad penny in this kingdom. This is the third time I have lived here. And my most recent return was when I first met this person. I don't know. I was in the Rothenheim camp at a crown tournament, and I see this young lady, camera in hand, doing what she does excellently, taking pictures and capturing the moment for all of us to enjoy. And I made an offhand comment about anyone with a bigger ego than mine in this tent needs to be killed. And she says, have you met Edward? You can like mic drop and walk out.
Did you have to tell the whole thing go?
We know. Speak truth when it's present.
He's not even here.
He doesn't have to be.
That's right, Bill.
He knows. He knows. He'll know about it on Monday.
So I looked her dead in the eyes like, do you know who I am? I'm Domingo. It's like, I've heard of you. It's like, uh-oh. I'll leave now. But this young lady humbled me at that point, and I have since called her friend. And Gilbert. And as everyone has already said, she does so much for this kingdom. She does so much for everyone to help us enjoy the game. When they speak of the order of defense, they talk about the soldiers, the scholars, the courtesan. When you see her, the courtier.
He has something else on his mind. He keeps smiling.
When you see her camera in hand, she is a soldier fighting for that best picture, fighting for the view that will capture the moment as best it can. As a scholar, she does her research into what's going on, what's happening when. As a courtier, she knows how to politely get into those places to take those pictures without offending people. She did.
Crazy.
She is a peer in all but final proclamation in my heart. And I want to thank you for calling me. Your Majesty, mine is more than words.
Thank you.
Is there a royal peer that will speak for this woman?
Everybody else has more than adequately covered her skill and her talent, and her art. I want to speak of her grace. The royal peer, you work for it, but not the same way you work for the other ones. And sometimes you start out the day and you're going to be all running this and doing that and doing the other thing, and at the end of the day you're sitting up there with an air coronet on your head. And Sigríðr copes with surprises. And even if it's a really not good surprise, she's not going to lay that out on the public. And even when she's doing something that might not be her favorite thing, she puts a smile on her face. And when she is doing her favorite thing, you can just tell radiates on her. And she'll do things like, okay, I want this picture. You, hold me up. And she goes and stands on the air post. And that's fun. And it adds to the energy and the stardust. And I am more than happy to call her my peer.
Is there a member of the populace that will speak for this woman?
It is, Your Majesty.
That's why you're here.
I'm from the Penance Coffees, Morgan. I thought we had an agreement. May I address your populace? So I'm not sure I'm going to say anything that hasn't already been said about this wonderful woman, but I'll certainly do my best. And while I am her chosen champion in this, these words are not entirely mine, but the words of Sigríðr's unkindness. Ladies, raise your hands. So to us, her unkindness, and I'm sure many others here, Her Excellency Baroness Sigríðr Úlfsdóttir de Lacy is already appeared. While the beautiful coat and fine feathers will make all those around her take notice of that fact, Sigríðr has been demonstrating what it means to have peer-like qualities for almost a decade. She's always there to take charge of a situation, consistently stepping in when she sees that something needs doing. Sigríðr is a wonderful teacher, both intentionally and by example, and she genuinely cares about Edenveld and all of her populace. Sigríðr shows grace and courtesy, even when it may be difficult to do so. Something I personally constantly need lessons in, so thank you for that. And even and she is selfless and welcoming to new and returning Populous members. She was the first person to reach out to many of the members of Our Unkindness, myself included, and she made sure we had scarves, that we had rides to our first events, and even though she didn't know us, she reached out afterwards to make sure we'd enjoyed ourselves, see if there was anything else she could do to make our experiences better. While the society may be struggling in the welcoming and retaining of new members, Sigríðr seems to be single-handedly keeping AIDS outreach alive. Personal anecdotes aside, what is clear is Sigríðr goes above and beyond in all matters, even when others may not take notice of the hard work she does. She is constantly working at all events, even if it means losing sleep, missing meals, or giving up things she herself may enjoy doing in order to guarantee others have as perfect an experience as she can personally make possible. She worries about others and takes care of everyone. I'm sure we've all been offered drinks or food or shade, or I've personally been offered clothing off of her own back. You know.
In here.
And even outside of events, Sigríðr strives to make things special for all of us. The majority of us participated in the Collegium Sigríðr coordinated, events that kept many of us grounded during the plague. It was by her efforts that we were able to stay connected to our kingdom and to each other in the time it really mattered most. Even with all that work, she still took time to help me with my own personal Bardic event. And I called her, I believe it was like 2 a.m, panicked over Google Sheets. She calmly and happily assisted me. And I'm sure that as my friend, she is going to do that. But she's done that for so many other people, whether or not she had a personal connection to them. While the pandemic allowed many to take notice of this noble lady's efforts, which she has always exerted in the shadows without complaint, all of the coordination, calligraphy, and art she's done for her scribal office over the years is beyond such comment. For years, Sigríðr has worked tirelessly to make the scribal office run as smoothly as possible, teaching new scribes. I think most of us have learned a thing or two from her, working late into the night to finish beautiful calligraphy, and personally driving to every edge of the kingdom to deliver scrolls and supplies and gain that one signature that we really needed to happen. And she endeavors to make each scroll she possibly can special to the person receiving it. I'm always really shocked at the number of people who she can name their personal favorite color, even if I was unaware she'd ever even met them. Very impressive. She takes care to see if there are members of our populace that may be overlooked, so she can let their baronesses, their barons and baronesses, or crowns know of said person's deeds. I get at least one message arranged from her reminding me to put in my award recommendations. Because it's important, and she knows how important it is to be seen and rewarded. Yes. And speaking of being seen, I have to make up for all the sports I missed. Who could forget her photography? We are made of our memories, and few understand this truth as much as Sigríðr does. Very early on, she recognized, as all those on the path of service should, a demand that needed addressing. Many of us dedicate a lot of our lives to this game and often have little to show for it. It's melancholy to reach back looking for people and places that are no longer there, but Sigríðr spends the majority of her time at events making sure we have something to reach for. Elevations, crowns, sacred moments between friends. That one time I showed up drunk to an event in the world's ugliest Ren Fair garb, Sigríðr captures it. Spending hours upon hours taking, editing, and posting photographs of these precious, delightful, important moments for us. That kind of wholehearted dedication to making sure others are happy is her most admirable trait. Besides, nothing livens up a crown more than watching her climb nights like a tree so she can reach the height. I could keep going, but Sigríðr made me promise to keep it short. And while the bard in me would wax poetic forever and ever, she also made me promise not to get in trouble, and I would hate to disappoint her twice in the same bit. Sigríðr is the most amazing person I know, that we all know. and we are indescribably blessed to have her in our lives, both as a friend and as a paradigm of pure-like qualities. She works before, during, and after events to make this society as magical as it can possibly be. Sigríðr is a rare bird, and while the world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places, Sigríðr brings the stardust to keep our corners lit. Entire events have succeeded due to her own efforts, invaluable moments have been captured by her hands, and most among us hold awards with Sigurd's signature hidden somewhere on the page. She's a treasure to our kingdom and our lives. So to my sister of Diet Coke and Spite, Victoria to my Marie, the Christina to my Meredith, I will not say do not weep, for not all tears are evil, but I will say that we, your populace, find this casual liberty.
Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican?
Your Majesty, may I address your populace? Please, yes. Okay. Thank you. So when I first met Sigríðr, I was unsure. I was very unsure. I was like, who is this little ball of fire that is so much younger and cuter and more energetic than I am, and that is like getting in people's laps and getting all the attention that I want? I was very jealous and uncertain. And then I started hanging out with Sigríðr, and I realized she wants to help, like I help. And what do? I help? What do I help? And now I cannot imagine how I would survive without her. I cannot imagine how the last several Estrellas would have gone without her. Did you get water in the field of Estrella? Did you not die? Uh-huh. I could not have done it without her and the other Pelican dude, that one. But the most important thing, the very most important thing, I learned the most valuable lesson of my entire lifetime from Sigríðr. That, I said, I help, me do, for years. Me do were my first words. And we were trying to drag a wagon through the mud. And I was gonna do that. I didn't care if it killed me, I was gonna do that. So I said I was gonna do that. And Sigríðr got in my way and she made me stop and she said, we do the thing. And it was a revelation. So I want you guys to remember this. If you think there is something that needs to be done, okay, you can do the thing, but we do. There is help. We are we. And I thank you for being part of my we. I could not have a we. I did not have a Sigríðr. Everybody needs a Sam. This one is mine. So thank you everyone who shares the Sigríðr with me. Because this is, I don't care if she means for a Pelican or not. She's always been my equal. And now she'll be here too. Thank you.
Right meow?
Oh, this one. So I'm going to talk a little bit because back when I was only a Laurel, she came to me and said, "Can I be your protege?" And I looked at her very seriously and I said, "No." And she was very confused and started to cry. And I had to explain I wasn't a Pelican. And I said, "But you can be an apprentice." And she said, "But I don't do art." And I said, "We'll fix that." Because I also teach the art of service. I had a nasty habit of all of my apprentices getting feathers and never getting laurels. So it's an art, I can teach it. So she said yes, and I made her my apprentice. And we went through this crazy few years where anytime I asked her to do something, I don't give assignments, but I say, I need some help, or she just sees I need help and it gets done.
And she will wear ridiculous bunny tails and bunny ears and help the Easter world do things. She will do all the things, and she makes sure I don't die and that I eat and that I stay on track. And she puts up with 1 billion ducks. And congratulations before getting your feathers and finding that duck.
Best duck.
Best duck. And when it came time, when I got my pelican, you said, "Can I be a protege now?" And I said, "Yes. But you can only be one because there's no, you're already multitasking, shit. You can't do both." So we changed her bow color. And now I got to ask her back. You've been one of the best proteges out there. You were my head-chopping murder bird, my little shrike. And I don't want to stop having this relationship with you because you are my peer. And I expect you to still try and mom me. And it's going to be amazing. And I'm so happy to have you with us. And I'm proud of you. And you have to give it back. Yeah. Because we're going to give you something better. I love you, baby.
Having heard these words and knowing in our hearts that service is in your nature and you do it, you see things nobody else does that need to be done and you do them. We are right-minded of your service in the Society of Anachronism, and we will resolve to create you, Sigríðr, Mistress of the Pelican. Will you accept the ancient and honorable order of the Pelican from our hand this day? Says I will.
All right.
I will. I will.
She doesn't have her glasses on. No, I made you a gift and didn't take one for your wife for once.
Will you, Sigríðr Úlfsdóttir de Lacy, give us your word to continue to fulfill the requirements set forth by the governance of this order as you most surely have until now, and increase your labors nobly, and increase your talents as befits a noble woman, and seek to disseminate your talents and abilities throughout the Society of Creative Anachronism, and to train any dependents you have to do likewise, as far as it is within your powers. Is there a medallion?
Oh.
Is that like
What did you think was ever?
Majesty, in these strange times, time, it moves in strange ways.
Sometimes forever, sometimes a blink.
Exactly. So much so that the person who made it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've had that a little while.
Yes, you have. You made the extra thing on here, and it was originally made by
Demetrius.
That's the melting man out there.
This is from Barony.
The symbol of the order is a pelican, which creature was, in ancient times, believed to nourish her young when necessary with the blood from her own breast, and was in the Renaissance used to symbolize the good civil servant, and which creature therefore has been chosen as the most appropriate symbol of service to our society.
Your Majesty, if I may. I also have a medallion. This was actually, speaking of collegians, when this wonderful pandemic first started, she brought that together to hold everybody's spirits up, and I got out of my bounds and did a demonstration on an art that I'm still fairly new at and trying my wares. And after that, she'd asked if there was a specific home that this was going to. And I said, no, I'll find somebody. I don't know who. And she begged a boon. She said, I don't know if I'll ever be a pelican, but just in case, could you hold on to that? Just in case. And I said, you know what? I would do that. And I am very, very happy and pleased that you see this in this wonderful person. Thank you, Majesty. It's similar.
is there a mantle?
Uh-oh. So you haven't seen this, because I wouldn't let you. So there are.
Ooh.
Oh,
duck!
So Floki did the trim.
Ooh.
There is a plague or plague doctor on the bottom. Magdalena did the DeLacy knots. I did the plague doctor and the birds, and then Ida did the pumpkin. The green edging, which looks like a belt, is originally her apprentice belt that
Aww.
Ari gifted to her, and she wanted to remember. So it's really, really fun. I don't know why you want to put this on. That's the rules.
I'm just gonna let her enjoy the warmth.
Is there a cap of maintenance?
There is, Your Majesty.
Would you expect her to do?
Is it a woolen cap? No, unfortunately, it's linen. It's silk. And her coronet on there as well.
Aww.
All done by hand. By yourself. By me. Oh, you fold it. It's a coronet. So you can try it.
Historically, the cap of maintenance, or chiffon, a hat of crimson,
Yes, like that.
rimmed with white ermine, appeared in heraldry as a symbol of dignity and nobility. In our society, the cap of maintenance is a reserved heraldic charge for members of the Order of the Pelican and a symbol of the order.
I'm just letting this happen.
Bring it up.
I'm gonna let this happen for a minute.
I know, that's it. I'll be the longer.
Pelican, not ostrich.
That made the hair great.
There you go.
Therefore, we, Morgan,
And we, Elizabeth.
by right of arms, King of Aidenfeld, do proclaim you, Sigríðr, Mistress of the Pelican, be thou good, noble, and true to this order.
Please place your hands on the sword state and repeat this oath. This day do I
This day do I
render homage and fealty
render homage and fealty
to my sovereign and liege,
to my sovereign and liege,
the crown of Aidenfeld.
the crown of Aidenfeld.
I will from this day onward I will remain in all ways
I will remain in all ways
the true servant,
the true servant,
serving faithfully
serving faithfully
and endeavoring ever
and endeavoring ever
to prove myself worthy
to prove myself worthy
of this noble title of Pelican.
of this noble title of Pelican.
This I do swear by the sword and my honor.
This I do swear by the sword and my honor.
So say I.
So say I, Mistress Sigríðr Úlfsdóttir de Lacy.
You accept your oath and do for our part swear. Take you and your household. So death takes us, the world ends, or I hand it off to them.
Now know all that the crown of all Aidenfeld, in consideration of her singular noble virtues and accomplishments, gracious in her courtesy and her honor, as in long distinguished loyal service to our realm, do by these letters patent advance Sigríðr Úlfsdóttir de Lacy to the rank, title, and degree of Mistress of the Pelican, with all responsibilities, and confirm her arms, sable, a key inverted, and on a chief argent 2 compass stars, the Dexter Sable and Sinister Ghoul. Done this 11th day of September 2021 in the 56th year of the Society, Morgan King, Elizabeth Queen.
So we.
So I'm going to show you all, but you're actually going to have her show you a
Wow.
print. Or you won't.
Scroll, done in entirety by Ari Uzni.
That's your wallet size version?
She may laminate it and keep it in her purse. I don't know.
No, we present to you Sigríðr Úlfsdóttir de Lacy, mistress of the Pelican.
Cheers for the newest companion of the Order of the Pelican. Hip, hip.
Huzzah!
Hip, hip.
Huzzah!
Hip, hip.
Huzzah! You're clear.